Hey everybody, Tim here for this week's graphic novel review, continuing from last time with the Transformers IDW collection Phase 1 Volume 7, the penultimate collection. Really kind of sad. Digging my boy Soundwave, purple, blue, whatever color that is. Absolutely amazing. Overall loved it. This particular collection came out 2012, which is kind of weird because I don't think I got into Transformers until like 2013, 14, maybe even a little bit later. Like it was well into Phase 2, to be honest with you. And then that's when like I had met my friend at the comic book shop, and he's like, "Here's All Hail Megatron. Read this." Blew my mind. So this is a whopping 404 pages. Realistically, not that much. Like if you're a speed reader and it's a graphic novel, so let's be honest, like if you're not appreciating the art, if you're just read it in an hour, like it's pretty quick. Overall, it wasn't the best thing I'd ever read, but it was pretty interesting. Lots to dive into. It's a collection of 3 different stories. Infestation, parts 1 and 2, the Transformers ongoing comic, issues 7 through 18, so 11 issues there, and then the short of Ironhide, issues 1 through 4. Not a spotlight, but it's an actual mini-series. Like I said, parts of it were great, parts of it not so much. Infestation was really kind of odd. Like, granted, it's only 2 issues, but it was just a really weird story. It was it was odd. So, like I said, even with 2 issues, Galvatron shows up from the dead universe, bringing all sorts of zombies. And it's like, why is this a thing? Why does this need to be a thing? I think they end up landing in Vegas or something. Spike and Cup are there. They have the best, like, dialogue where Spike is like, "This is like a Zack Snyder movie," which, of course, is a reference to Dawn of the Dead, which was, I think it was Zack Snyder's first big movie. And it was the remake, of course, but it's the one where they're in the mall and the zombie baby and stuff. And Cup has the great line of, like, "Snyder? You mean Romero?" Like, of course, referencing George Romero, like, the zombie master. Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, like everything. So I love that they include a lot of snarky lines in that are a little too pop culture-y, but for whatever reason, that one always stuck with me. I really liked that. So for this one, we get Cup basically starts remembering his spotlight where he's on the planet and he's like basically addicted to crystals, and Autobots are sent to get him, but he's murdering them because he thinks they're ghosts. And so the fact that they're kind of bringing that back in the continuity absolutely worked for me. Really liked it. From there, it kind of tanks. It's not as great, where we find out about this character Britt, who's from a different universe, and she's kind of a vampire, and then she's a zombie. Basically, as it keeps going, Cup is taken over by her, but then is able to fight it because of his, like, reprogramming, and goes to the dead universe with her. That's it. Like, I'm sure they'll bring him back at some point, but it was a little rough. Like, it was a very odd storyline. Transformers 7 through 18 went very quickly. Like, it's amazing how fast it goes. Where we learn all about Shockwave, Soundwave, and Starscream, the cannibalism that's going on the planet that they're marooned on, which it's kind of interesting to see Shockwave, that he escaped from, Garrus 9, and has now made it to that planet. We see Optimus finally meets the General. It only took like 7 issues, but whatever. Who's counting? I'm counting. So that's a thing. And then the big twist. Megatron is awake. Ooh. It sent a little shiver because all you do is see his hand close, but it was pretty good. Literally, episode 2 was just Spike killing a Constructicon. Like, that's it. Next. Korea working with the Decepticons is kind of interesting, and then the president, of course, declaring all Cybertonians a weapon of mass destruction, and Spike just being like, "Please don't say it, please don't say it, please." Oh, he said it. There it goes. It's right there. He said it. That's what happens when you work in secret, so whatever. All of the Autobots going to Korea to fight the Combaticons. Okay, like, it was kind of interesting. I love B going after Thundercracker, where he's like, "Dude, can you please just help us?" And Thundercracker's like, maybe. I could be wrong. There's so much. Like, I mean, realistically, I mean, granted, it's only one book a week, but I'm on volume 7. It starts to blend together. If IDW wants, I will start from issue 1 again and write a dictionary. So, let me know. But when I think this issue 5 is the first issue we see Cosmos in. Kind of famous for the animated series. He was almost like Igor, like the cliche Frankenstein Igor. But it's kind of great. He's like he's a satellite, literally, up in space. So that was kind of nice. We see the Predacons in China. Believe, again, this is the first time we've seen the Predacons. Kind of a nice little reference to, like, Beast Wars and kind of, okay, so they're kind of part of this universe. And then Thundercracker helping them out, and then Bumblebee gets shot. Like, it was very kind of sad. Which I'm not sure if we've seen him in his Camaro mode as of yet. I think we do eventually, but still. He needs to be a Volkswagen Bug. It has to be. We go to Hot Rod in Ultra Magnus's ship. Loved it. It's been forever. I feel like it's been forever since we saw him, like, take it. We've even had the flashback story of the last of the Wreckers, and where we saw Ultra Magnus with his ship. So it's been, a hot minute. And then he blows it the fuck up. What? So already really kind of sad. Him stalking Starscream, shooting him right in the Matrix. Didn't work. Boom! Absolutely happy. We get the new Megatron. Like, just seeing Megatron's, like, new body, it's beautiful. Like, it's so hip and it's so it's gorgeous. So, at first, I wasn't sure how I felt about Megatron getting a new body. Like, was it absolutely necessary? But then, once I actually saw it, I was like, no, yep, it does kind of work for me. We find out that Bumblebee has been shot by a, like, new type of, like, weapon. And it looks like Megatron. It looks like Megatron's gun thing. And this is where the pieces finally start falling apart. That Megatron was rebuilt, by the way. Boom. There's his new body. I don't know. I really like it. I know at some point he's going to go back to his old body, but it's still gorgeous. And so we find out that his old body was made into guns, sent to Earth 4 months ago, and he was rebuilt with a bridge inside of him. So it all kind of just fits together. Starscream going after Thundercracker and just shooting him in the back. I was really kind of disappointed in that aspect of it. God, there's so much. I'm literally overwhelmed at this moment because, like, the first half was kind of meh, and then the second half, it's just like, Optimus going after Megatron because he dumps all of the hostages in this city, and he's like, they're gonna get shot and killed. What are you gonna do about it? I don't know. So Optimus shoots Soundwave in the fucking face. It's kind of surprising, but of course Soundwave survives, which is odd to me. And then Jazz ends up shooting a cop out of nowhere, which felt very, like, force-driven. Like, it's not really character-driven. It's, like, definitely plot. Like, it just seemed out of nowhere. So you know it's going to be this ongoing crisis. Because I can't really see, like, Jazz doing it. Like, it just seems really, really odd to me. So Prime goes to Megatron, tries to fight with him, and Megatron surrenders. Again, a beautiful shot of Megatron's body. I love these full page, like pictures. They're just great. I have so many prints. I actually have, like, a little Transformers wall. I know behind me's more like Batman stuff, but I do have a Transformers wall because it's great. So Megatron surrenders and just flat out admits, like, hey, just so you know, your boy Spike over there is also killing, like, the other Cybertonians. He's already killed a Constructicon. So, just so you know, I'm only surrendering because I want, like, front row seats of the shitstorm that is about to happen right now. And then that's kind of it. It's a fantastic cliffhanger to get to, like, issue 18. From there, we go to the Ironhide 4-part issue, which, again, it felt very, very odd to me. Like, I'm sure in the grand scheme of things, it's going to play off. It's going to be worth it. But it just seemed odd. Like, especially the first 2 issues weren't really necessary. Like, it's 4 issues long, easily down to 3. Maybe with some rough kill your darlings moment. 2 issues. So 4 million years ago, Ironhide was shot for Optimus Prime, like he kind of got in the way of the bullet. And then he wakes up today on Cybertron, the present Cybertron, and it's been completely abandoned. We find out he's not alone. There's like this little droid with him that really can't do much. We get a lot more flashbacks from before the war. And like the whole thing, you're like, what is happening? Literally issue 3 is where it finally hits the jackpot, where we meet the one, the only, the fantastic Alpha Trion, who's great. Look at the beard. Like, in the original comic series, like, he had, like, this bitchin'-ass, like, robot beard, and they give him, like, this, like, cover mask that he pulls it away so you can see his face, but it's made to kind of look like he has the beard. He saves Sunstreaker. Why is Sunstreaker still alive? Like, realistically, this is the part of the comics that I don't like, is they kind of pull this Marvel DC thing, where it doesn't matter if you die. We'll find a way to bring you back. This whole miniseries is that way. Ironhide died. Like, I'm sorry. He died. Let him rest. Like, you decided to kill him off. You can't just bring him back. And so the fact that Ironhide is like, I found your spark, which is like his ghost, and I rebuilt your body because I knew you were going to die. Unfortunately, your like reset mode brought you back 4 million years ago. So you're missing a lot of stuff. He literally brought Ironhide back just to kill the Insecticons, the swarm that have been going around. They kind of fixed Sunstreaker, and then Sunstreaker's like, I want to stay here with Ironhide and kind of fill him in on the last 4 million years. And Alpha Trion's like, bye, Metroplex and I are leaving. Why? Well, like, the entire thing, this whole point of this 4-part miniseries is to bring Ironhide back from the dead and Sunstreaker back from the dead, and to introduce Alpha Trion. Like, I understand Alpha Trion's kind of a big deal. To bring Ironhide and Sunstreaker back from the dead, to me, was kind of pointless. Like, it was a little actually insulting to, like, after all of the story arc, out of all of the different Transformers you can create, literally, just make somebody new. Why do you have to bring these two back from the dead? So, overall, it is what it is. It's kind of interesting, but even like Transformers at its worst is better than a lot of other stories. So I'm curious what you guys are thinking. I'm curious if anybody's reading along with me. Go ahead, let me know. Awesome comments. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time for Volume 8.